So let's demonstrate the elastic load balancer. So, okay. Normal, it's a simple, we are just going to do a simple demonstration. As it's not supposed to take 10 minutes. Then let's launch our instances. Let's launch the instance. Let's a simple instance. You see this one, it says number of instance. And start me is, let's say 3. And it says launch into auto scaling group. If I click this, you say you may want to consider auto scaling group. If I say yes, yeah, you say continue. So what does that mean is that whatever thing I'm creating now is going to be in this auto scaling group. Let's call this cloud air2 ETH. Template.
So it means that you have created 3 extra server.
Yes, I want to launch 3 server at the same time. Then I also want the system to save it. Understand me? To save it. Sample. Let's use sample. Understand me? To save this instance. You see what I'm trying to do now? So that in case, if this system we are launching, in case in the future the load is increasing, are you getting me? She use this template to increase the auto scaling. Understand me? So these are the type of instance I say you should launch. This one, what I'm configuring now, I'm configuring the auto scaling group. So what I'm saying is that if the load increase, I want to launch 3 servers. If the load increases, use this system to launch. Then use auto wizard VPC. Understand me? Use the same thing. So meaning the way I'm doing this is what the storage, you say you use normal storage, resources tag, the network interface, NIC. No network interface, you just use the normal one. Then I'll now say create template. So I've created a template. You understand? So if I've created a template, I need to go back. This is this template I've created. So I've created this template. I can say, okay, launch instances. So you say, how many instances do you want to launch? I'll say launch 4 or 3. Because I want to demonstrate auto scaling for you. If I say launch instance template, launch instances from template, it will automatically launch an EC2 instance. You understand? So if I do like this, it's another way of launching instances. You understand? So automatically it has launched three instances. Did you understand how I did it?
Unless if I do it step by step.
Okay. You will do it step by step. I'm going to give you time to do it step by step. Because I want you to, this is another way of launching instance. Because why did I say you should launch instance this way? The reason is because I want my instances, I want to put it in an auto scaling. Are you getting me? You understand? I want to put it in linear load balancer. So I want in a way so that when there's an issue, when the load increases, it should create instances. So for it to create instances, remember when I was explaining last time using this illustration? When I was explaining last time using this illustration, now these 2 auto scaling that you are creating, it's not going to spin from nowhere. We are going to configure using the same configuration for this. You understand me? You understand what I'm trying to say now? So what I did is this. I created an auto scaling group for these 3. Are you getting me? And I save it as a template. First of all, I created one like this and I save it as a template. So that in case these ones want to create, they will use that one that I created. You understand me? To launch. You understand? It's the same thing you are used to. So that was what I did. So I created the auto scaling group first. Then I now use the auto scaling group that I've created to launch my instance. So right now we have 3 instances running. So when I want to configure this, I want to configure auto scaling. The system will going to ask me, okay, you want me to scale up? How do you want me to scale up? That's the question. How do you want me to scale up? I want to say scale up using these templates that I created. So let's go back again for you to understand better. So now says, you imagine I say launch instance, launch from template. You understand me? If you are launching instance, so let's assume we are launching instance directly. This is one you are familiar with. You understand me? This is one you are familiar with. Okay, you select your instances.
Yes.
And you get me. From here, you don't declare your instance. You know the number of instances you do here. This one means that you are creating these instances from the scratch. You are not attaching it to an auto scaling group. So if you do it like this, let's assume we want to create one. Let's say 1. You understand me? Then everything is set, create using, okay, give it, okay, excuse me. Okay, I want to enable public IP.
What happened to Emeka?
I think network, he said his phone has issues. So I didn't even know when he went off. Okay, now in this security group, existing security group, this is the security group we use to create that first one, this one. Are you getting me? So let's use the same security group. So now the key pair we use is simple. We acknowledge, we create. So this is creating instances directly without creating from the auto scaling group. You see, pending. Meanwhile, we have 3 that is running now. Are you getting me? That has 100% share. This is the one. So we created this one. So, but what we did was that in this 3, for this 3's sake, what we first of all did, we created an auto scaling group. You understand me? We created an auto scaling group.
Does it really follow that we have to create the auto scaling server before we create the actual one?
Yeah, it's always advisable if you are looking at scaling up. If you are looking at scaling up, it's better you just create an auto scaling group first. And again, the reason is that if you create an auto scaling group, so that when you want to spin up more server, it will now use that template that you use in creating your first server to create the remaining ones. Are you getting me? You can even, even after creating the stuff, you can even take a snapshot. What I mean by snapshot, you can back up all your files into one server and save it into one memory and save it. You understand me? And save it. For example, now, you see all these servers now, I can decide to attach a block storage to it. I think it's possible.
Okay.
I can, let me see if it's possible to attach a block storage. You say attach an auto scaling group. You understand me? Get an instant snap screenshot, meaning to save it. You understand? So I may decide to create an image. You understand me? This create an image, I mean create this server that is running, copy the details of this server and save it somewhere. You understand me? I can decide to be using that image. You understand me? Look at it now. This is the instance. This is the image name. This is the storage. You see the storage that is going to be saving. You understand me? So I can decide to say, no, I don't want it to be saved. I want it to be saved in another storage. You understand? So automatically what I just did is this. I've created an image. Let's say Osato Then let's say testing server, no reboot or reboot. So what I did is this, it's like cloning a laptop or cleaning a server. So I've saved that image. So you understand me? So when a server is running, maybe it has so many applications on it, you can come here and clone it and keep an image so that in case that server goes down, you don't need to start installing application, updating, you understand me? So you will just take what you have saved and use that image to create another instance.
Another instance.
The system will just come up automatically and will be at the state where it is. That is why backup is very important. That's why storage is very important. Do you understand now? So that is it. So we have 4 instances running now. So let's go straight to, let's configure our auto scaling group. It's an auto scaling launch. This is an auto scaling launch. But these things I'm doing is very, very key. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay.
It's very, very key.
Yeah.
What we are doing is very, very key. Okay. What is the name? I will say Cloud Air2. The template is asking me which template, which snapshot will you be using? We already have one, the one we created just now. Are you getting me? We'll come here and put it. Then it's not asking which version. Let's use the same version. Are you getting
version
me?
Of
the version, you
version
know,
of server
and the version of the template. You know, you can increase the version. Are you getting me? You can create more version. Like, okay, you know, every time you save, it's a version. You can decide to save, keep saving, you know, that and be versionizing. There's another way of creating it, different version of it, but let's not go there for now. So this is it. Now it's telling me the storage volume, no storage volume, the key pair, use this key pair. I say next. Do not tell me, okay, which type of purchase, meaning how much are you going to be paying? So I'm saying, are there to launch template? Use that, the money, the style that I use for the other one, which is going to be on demand. So because I only want to be paying for what I'm using, not, you understand me? So that is the auto scaling. And it's asking me which subnet do I want it to be. So I can decide to choose any of the subnets. So what does that mean? It means that as the instance is scaling up, it's going to be scaling up in that subnet. You understand me? I think it's possible to even keep it default. Okay, let's pick a subnet. Let's say I want it to the auto scaling to be in this subnet. I think with look of things, if you can even have more than one.
Have more than one
subnet. Yeah. Let's say I'm here. Let's say I'm here. The reason this subnet that you are creating is in a different availability zone. If you look at it, this one is in 2A, this one is in 2B, this one is 2C. So that the system will be more rugged and more available. That's the reason why we spread it. So that when server 1 goes down, server 2 will pick up. You understand me? When server 2 goes down, server 3 will pick up. So it's in different. It's not compulsory you do this, but it's most best practice to do this. So that when the system is spinning up, so with this, it's asking me the settings, load balancer. No, I want it to attach to a load balancer. But now we've not created a load balancer. Normally, I can say attach to a load balancer. I want to illustrate based on what the illustration I did. Are you getting me? Remember I talked about, so I can say add to a new load balancer. So if I say add to a new load balancer, it's going to be another way. I don't want it to be that way. Let's create, let's say attach to a new load balancer. So let's create a load balancer. It's asking which type of load balancer. Is it application load balancer or network load balancer? Let's use the application load balancer. What's the name of the load balancer? Let's call it Cloud
What's the difference
X1.
between the application load balancer and the network load balancer?
Okay, application load balancer is in level 7, while network load balancer is in level 4. You understand me? What do I mean by level 4? In the scale of infrastructure, of network infrastructure, of networking infrastructure, we have level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. We have level 5, level 6, level 7. Level 1 talks about the system. We're talking about normal system. You know, a laptop that you are having, it has what we call a MAC address, a MAC number. Are you getting
Yeah, I
me?
know.
So if you want to send traffic connecting to MAC number, so we have level 2. So level 2 talks about IP. You understand? But level 2 talks about the same MAC address, but is in a different dimension. You understand me? So, for example, if you are using a hub to connect, a hub is like a network stuff that you just connect directly. Are you getting me? Then you can decide to use what we call this switch. You can decide to use a network switch. So a network switch will be in one place. Are you getting me? So that network switch will be the one to send traffic to different MAC address. Are you getting me? That is level 3. While level 4 is IP, more of IP based. So anytime you are sending traffic to, you're using a load balancer to send traffic to just the IP addresses only. You're talking about IP network load balancer. But there are some times you don't need to send traffic to the IP. You are sending traffic to the application in the server. Maybe a web server, like most of what we always do. Whenever you want to say www. Are you getting me? Most times you are sending it to an application, either a HTML application or PHP application. You understand me? So in that case, you'll be using application load balancer. It's higher, it's more higher than network load balancer. But network load balancer is faster because in the system is not searching for application, it's just searching for the network. Immediately it gets the network, it sends traffic. But for this application load balancer, you have to look for the application inside before you can send traffic to it. You understand me? So that's the two different between them. For most of these Kubernetes, most times we use network load balancer for service. But for normal server, we use both in a way. Understand me? But most of these Docker and other stuff, we combine both. You know, that's for now. Let's talk about application load balancer. We'll get to the both side. That's why I said it's a complete DevOps class. So we'll go straight. So I'm saying do head check on the EC2, 30 seconds. How many 300 seconds is how many minutes?
That's
5 minutes.
roughly divided by 60. That's 5.
5 minutes. That means let the network, the load balancer check everything about the server. Give it 5 minutes. If after 5 minutes, the server did not respond, are you getting me? Shut down. Remove that server from the system. That's what we call health check. Understand me? So you can decide because we are looking at attaching this thing to EC2. That's why we say EC2 now. But we can decide to attach it to another load balancer. Remember I told you, you attach it to another load balancer. But this one is the EC2. We can decide to also say that's a load balancer. Monitoring. I don't want this. This one is going to cost more. It's optional. So now I'm also saying that, okay, accept traffic from only port 80. So I can decide to say accept traffic from more than port 80, accept traffic from port 443, which is HTTPS. So we are using this one now. The route forwarding. You understand me? Let's select a new existing target group. Remember I mentioned something about target group. A target group is that place where you place your instances. So let's call the target group.
The server, right?
Where you put your servers is called the target group. Let's create a target group. Let's call it Cloud X22. It's not compulsory you create your load balancer from this side. Are you getting me? You can create a load balancer separately and create another one separately. It's telling me there's an error. Is there error? No error. Okay, go. Okay. Now it's asking me what's the size. Specify the size of the auto scaling group. But for now, let's use one. Minimum of auto scaling group by desired capacity. You can also specify the minimum and maximum capacity you desire must be within the range of your server. Let's say the desired one, the one that will be running at the same time, the one that will be running at a time. Let's say 3 is running at the time. But when the load increases, increase by 2, minimum of 2. Are you getting me? Maximum of 6. So meaning when the load increases, it will add 2 to it till everything is up to 6. When it's up to 6, you stop. You can start to increase it to more than that, make it 10, make it 8. So what's the policy you want it to be? You choose the whether you use scaling policy to dramatically resize the auto scaling or not. For now, you can say choose a desired outcome and leave it scaling policy to add. This is another level. Understand me? So I'm saying, okay, when the CPU, are you getting me, is average, when the CPU is 50% in use, are you getting me? But which is not the best practice. Let's put it 70. But there are some applications you'll be running. 17 is not also best practice. Maybe you use 60 or 65. So for how many time? Maybe if it remains in 70% for like 10 minutes, for like 2 minutes, 2 minutes would be what? 120, 120 seconds. Are you getting me?
Yeah.
So when it's like that, increase it by 2.
Okay.
Increase it. Are you getting me? Increase it by. So this is the desire capacity. This is the maximum. This is the minimum. Meaning the number of instances that will increase should not be more than 2, 3. Let's keep it 3. Okay. Now let's continue from here. Instance key protection. Enable instance key protection. Yes, in some rugged application, you have to enable this, but it's optional. It's optional. Now, add notification. This notification is to send you message on your phone whenever there's remember this notification we are setting up. In case an instance goes out, it has an error, it will send you a message to your phone. It's called SNS. You understand me? Immediately it's scaling up, it will send message.
SMS or
Yes, as an
email?
SMS and email.
So which means you have to add your phone number and your email address.
Yes, your team. I can select a topic. You can create a topic, say auto scaling.
So it will send a message to all the group member that manage the.
Beautiful. With this recipient, I can decide to put how many recipients. Let's say Osato .igbogun@gmail.com. Understand me? Automatically, I can decide to do this. So, see, these are the events. Notify me when a new instance launch. Notify me when a new instance terminates. Notify me when it fails. Notify me when it fails to terminate. So this is, the fees is not much. It doesn't take much. You can target, say name, then say auto scaling, Shikena, review. So this auto scaling, you can save it as a template. You understand me? These are the subnets. So every instances in this subnet, it's going to be scaling. So everything here, and I'll say create. So what I've succeeded in doing, I've succeeded in creating both auto scaling group and a load balancer at the same time. So if you go to auto scaling now, let's go to load balancer. This is a load balancer. You see that a load balancer have been created here. You see the load balancer have been created. Understand me? So if you see the auto scaling group, the target group, but look at the target group. There's a target group here. But if you look inside the target group, you see that there is nothing inside the target group. If you say attach register, you see, okay, automatically auto scaling one. Okay, there's nothing inside the target group. You only just put one here. Okay, let's register more target group. Let's put this 3. So we have how many instances running? Wow, we have created instances. So
1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
6. Understand me? This 6.
So we have 2 auto scaling, but that one will not work
until good.
until
Beautiful.
it reach the
Time to increase it.
threshold.
Beautiful. Now you're understanding it clearly. So now the auto scaling group has been created. I've added things to the target group. Are you getting me? But since it's an application load balancer, you will see notice something and it will tell you there's an issue. So we may not be able to access it now because it's an application load balancer. Look at the targets. Zone, none of these zones contains the heady target requests are being routed to. You see, all of them are not healthy yet. You know why they are not healthy? Because they are application load balancer. And there's no application inside yet. So it's not going to be healthy. You understand? So meaning the load balancer now will not have anything in it. See how many instances is running now? Just 3.
3
okay.
instances.
Because that's the 3. I say you should run 3 at the minimum. Okay, if you look at the instances now, they are not healthy. Health check. If you look at the health check, they are not healthy. So now let's make it healthy. How do you make it healthy? By installing things on it. So now let's go and configure our instances. So we're going to quickly just, that's why most times I always advise people, instead of creating all these instances, before you just create one. How many instances running now? 1, 2, these are 6 instances. This one is initiating. Auto scaling is initiating. Okay. Now let's go. Let's take this one.
So if we want to delete it now, we can delete everything.
Yes, you delete the auto scaling. Now let's install one. You see what is going on? See, the system is initiating auto scaling automatically. You know why? You know why?
I don't know.
It's because that load balancer is not healthy. Because the load balancer is not healthy, the load balancer is trying to look for instances that is healthy. Are you getting me? So it's not seeing any instances that is healthy. Automatically, it's just spinning up server. You understand?
Okay.
So you see, it's initiating. This one is just initiating now. So you keep spinning server. So now let's help the load balancer. Let's keep one of them working. Let's take this one. Let's just be quick. We are unable to connect to instance, common instance. This includes. Let's use this. Okay. Let's quickly configure this server. Fine.
Okay.
Good. And let's say sudo let's say yum updates yum install update. Why? Okay. Yum. Okay. Sorry. I thought I'm even using the yum updates. Why? To update the server. Then after updating the server, then okay, the server has finished updating. Okay, clear. Now let's install Apache. Yum install Apache. You understand me? Yes. Oh, sorry. I know what's install yum install Apache. No, not Apache itself. Yum yum install HTTPD.
So we can as well install Jupyter Notebook.
Yes, anything you want to install. So HTTPD, they have installed. So now let's go to let's move in to we have installed HTTPD now. Okay, let's say cd var www html. Now, okay, wait. Okay, I've not started service HTTPD start. Okay, service have started. So if I say the wording, what I'm trying to do now, I'm saying it should go inside this folder. Are you getting me? Now it's in that folder now. If I say create, you see the reason why we must learn bash. Create a file called index.html. Then the file has been created. Now let's open the file. Let's say vim index. This is it. So now let's edit. Let's say welcome to server 1. Okay, let's save it. WQ. Good. Okay, now we have configured server 1. Let's go to server 2. But if you go to here now, if you take this one now, copy it, you come to.
So how do we identify the one that we name server 1, server 2, server 3?
You can say
or
welcome.
it will just take one.
No, you see this one. I just want us to be sure. This one is showing server 1, Abi. What you do, you can just come here and name it here. Call this one server 1.
Okay.
Then you make sure you click this. Now let's call this one server 2. So the same thing we did for server 1 is what we are also going to do here. But I just want you to see the auto scaling working, the load balancer working. You understand? So I'm still going to do the same process. I'm not going to waste time. Let's say sudo, yes, sudo su forward s. Let's say update. Yes. So update, yes. This one will clean up now. Now say
Patrick.
Sir?
Please give me 1 minute.
Okay, I should pause and wait for you, Abby.
Yes. Yeah, hello, Daddy tomorrow. Ekale.
Hold on, please. Hold on.
Hello,
Your audio. Okay, I'm sharing my screen now. So You will now say service HTTPD start. And then you enter, press enter. Oh, what happened? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my server have stopped responding. Let me shut down and start all over again. Connect. Okay, service HTTPD start. Okay, say because there is nothing like that. Okay, let's install yum install HTTPD. Okay, sudo excuse me. It's telling me I don't have the permission. Sudo su. Okay, now yum install HTTPD. That sudo su I'm talking about, and there's a level you get to. You don't do that. You don't use sudo su. You have to create a folder and or create a user and give that user the right. I will explain that one to you. That's why I say you must do that Linux class. But I'm just doing this because I don't want to waste time. Okay, now let's say service HTTP.
Mr. Patrick,
I can hear you.
can you please stop recording? I want to discuss something.
So, okay, var www slash server 2. Okay, then save, then ls. Let's see. It's server 2. So we have server 1, we have server 2. And let's do server 3 and so on. Let's see what is going on. Let's do server 3. I think if I do this server 3, See, it's going to be very easy. The same thing. Just come here, connect. Okay, I have three of them. Hmm. So we'll just stop here. Just stop here and test our load balancer. Let's see our server 3. Yeah, fine. We know that you can still access it through HTML and everything. It's most times it's like that, but we can also do that. The load balancer, the only way they can that to access these servers is through the load balancer. We'll do that, but for this class, this is what we're going to do. And let us stop here and let's take our load balancer and check. So before we let us end today's class, start our next class, which is tomorrow. We want to continue from where we stop. Let's take our load balancer, which is here. Load balancer. So already listening to it. Hmm. Copy the DNS name. I know because the first time we configured it, let's say our target group again. See the head check. Action. I'm gonna go at so 3. So it will take time before it loads. So when it's loading, say healthy, healthy, drain, drain, check. Okay. So we now have 3 load balance lines working. In server 1, server 2, then the other one, server 3. If you refresh, the more you refresh, the more it moves to server 1, 2, and 3. Server 3 is not yet up. So sorry. Okay, the reason why the first one could not go is because the load balancer, let's say load balancer was an internal. We mistakenly created an internal load balancer instead of internet facing load balancer. So we have to spin up an internet facing load balancer now. So if you can see, the thing is packed and okay, it's trying to spin up. When it's up now, work, surely work. Take some time before it finally is stable. Let's wait for it to launch out. As you can see, the balancer is back. This was server 1. So server 2, server 3. So today we'll stop here, and because tomorrow we're going to continue. We'll test the auto balance or the auto scaling, and everything will be fine. Thank you for time, and I truly appreciate. Welcome to it. Thank you again. So this is cloud training for enthusiasts. It was really nice having this session with you. So see you tomorrow. Bye. Patrick Uzatwame signing out. Bye.